Hello and welcome to Social Media for Humans, the podcast that empowers you to do social differently. Your host, Alexis Bushnell, and her guests discuss their experience of social media as business owners, users, and ultimately humans, with insights and advice to help you find an effective and ethical strategy that works for you. Grab yourself a drink and join the conversation.
Hi, hello, I'm Alexis. My pronouns are she, her, and I want to talk to you about reusing content in this super quick tip episode of the Social Media for Humans podcast. So reusing content, people have feelings. People have feelings about this. My feelings are do it. Just do it, please. But there are a lot of people who think it's bad, who think, well, everybody's already seen it. Why would they want to see it again? Or shouldn't I be coming up with new ideas all the time? I mean, if you have new ideas all the time, go for it. But I want to start by asking you a question. I don't know what time you're listening to this, what time of day. If you've already been on social media, you've had a bit of a scroll, you've seen some posts, have a think. Rewind your brain. How many of those posts that you've seen today do you actually remember? Like how many could you say, like, I saw this image and I saw this caption, and somebody was talking about this topic? How many out of the 50, 100 posts you've seen, maybe? Um, I that's a real question. I would love you to let me know how many you actually remember. If you're listening to this super early in the morning, have a think about yesterday. How many posts can you remember that you saw yesterday? I am willing to bet it is close to zero. If you're one of these people with a photographic memory, you don't count. I'm sorry. You do count. We love you, but like, it's different. It's different. So if you can't remember, say I'm going to be generous. Say you remember 10 posts that you saw yesterday or earlier today. Over time, well, like, would you still remember those posts in 3 weeks when you've seen 300, 400, several thousand more posts? Really? That's a good question. Would you still remember those posts? Even if they came up in your feed, would you still remember them? Would you go, "Oh, I've seen this before"? Because when I have tested this, and I have tested this a lot, people don't remember them. When we're creating content, we are in it. We care about it. We're thinking about it. We're coming up with the content idea for it. We're finding the perfect image or creating the perfect video for it. We're crafting the caption. We're looking for the right hashtags. We're checking the best times to post. We are involved with our content. We are really, really thinking about it. We will remember it because we've put a lot of energy into it. We've put a lot of creativity into it. We have spent a lot of time creating it. Of course, we remember it. When we see it come up on our feed 3 weeks, 3 months, a year later, we remember it because we have, however long it took us to create that post, ingrained in our memory from the effort and maybe the love that we put into it, and maybe the idea that triggered us to write that post or the event or whatever it is. We have an emotional connection to a lot of our content, whether that's good or bad, but we do. Nobody else has that of our content. So when somebody else is seeing your post that you spent 3 hours really working on, phrasing it just so, that had been inspired by this conversation you had with your best friend, and you think it's just amazing and it's a really powerful point, and when you see that post, you remember that time with your friend and you're like, yes, this is such, I remember that thing that they said was just so amazing and it really shifted how I see this. That's great, but they don't feel that. When they read that post, they might think, this is really interesting. Yeah, this has shifted how I see things. This is a really great post. But they don't have that association. They don't have the association with the connection with your friend, with that chat. They don't have the connection with the 3 hours you spend at midnight drinking coffee and trying to get it out there. They don't have the association with the image that you use or whatever. And so they don't remember it because they're seeing that post in hundreds of other posts. And many of them also came from that amazing conversation you had with someone, or that thing you saw on TV and it sparked an idea in you, and you were like, yes, this is the next big thing, or this is the big topic that I need to talk about. We remember our content because we are so invested in it. Other people are not. This is why I advocate for reusing content, because you put a lot of time and energy into that content. If you're creating quality content, as opposed to just churning out anything to get stuff out there, which I imagine most, if not all of you, are doing, you're focusing on quality content, then as your follower numbers grow, as things shift in the world, as things shift in your industry, as what you do maybe shifts, there are people who haven't seen that content at all. And there are people who are in a better place to receive that piece of content now. So if you've put out a post about, say, repurposing content, how meta. If you've put out a post about reusing content, and when I first put it out, say, it landed on somebody saw it and they went, "Oh yeah, that seems like a good idea." I have not got the time to go through like all my previous posts. I just don't. I'm already homeschooling and going through a divorce, and I'm already super busy with all the life stuff and all the work stuff and all the everything stuff, and I do not have the time to do it. Maybe when I post it again 6 months later, they've hired a VA maybe, and they're like, "Oh, I can get my VA to do that. That's a great idea. Cool." They can actually action it. Maybe they have shifted how their business works, so they have more time to work on their business to actually go through some of their content and pull stuff out to reuse it. Um, People are in different places when they see your content, and so you might catch somebody with that message the second or third or fourth or fifth time around, that when you first posted it, they just weren't ready for it. They couldn't action it. They weren't in the place where it was useful to them. And I think this is something we forget when we're in that scroll, when we are in that content creation. Got to put the content out there, got to do this, got to do that. Not everybody is seeing your content. The people who are seeing it are not remembering it. And the people who are seeing it and maybe do think it's awesome, and maybe it does sort of trigger a memory in their brain. They're like, "Oh yeah, I saw this before and I couldn't do it." Maybe they're in a better place now to actually action that, to actually hear that message, to actually really take in what you're saying. And so it is valuable if you have created great content, reshare it, get it out there again. And yes, if you want to change the image or tweak the caption or change the hashtags or whatever you want to do, you want to turn it into a different format. So you want to change your feed post into a reel or whatever it is, you can do that. But you don't have to. And I say this so much to people, like people who are overwhelmed with content creation, who feel like, I do not have the time to create just all this new content forever. I have a job. Like I want to do, I opened my business because I want to do this job, not because I want to become a creator. Reuse your content. Have a look back through your content and see what you can reuse. And if you don't have the time to take to edit it, to tweak it, who cares? Just put it out again exactly as it is. Use the same image, use the same caption, use the same hashtags. People don't care. Just get it out there again. It takes some stress off you, means you can either get more content out there or you don't have to create as much content. and maybe it will reach just the right person at just the right time. I would love to know what you feel. Where are you on the repurposing content fence? Is it a fence? Are you sort of team repurposing? Are you really invested in the repurposing already? Have I convinced you to try repurposing content? Or are you still like, no, this is a hard no, never, not ever, not for me? That's fine. If that's you, you do you. That's fine. If you would like some extra help with repurposing your content, turning evergreen content, blog posts, podcasts, stuff like that into social media content, getting a scheduling system set up, all of that kind of thing, I would love to see you in the Social Media for Humans Club, where we have courses on that, we have trainings on that, we have support on that, and basically everything else related to social media and self-care. So yeah, I would love to see you over there. If you would like early access to these podcast episodes and also the guest episodes, you can join us on Patreon, and take care of yourself.
If you want more regular reminders to find your own way to use social media, follow Alexis on your social platform of choice. All the links will be in the show notes. Until next time, be a human.